The conditioning of the air in the forward and aft cargo compartments is fully automatic. The operation for both compartments is similar, so we will only look at the forward cargo compartment initially. Ambient air from the cabin area enters the cargo compartment via an inlet isolation valve. The air is removed from the compartment either by an extract fan or by differential pressure. The air is discharged overboard via an outlet isolation valve. The operation of the two isolation valves and the extract fan is controlled automatically by a cargo ventilation controller. To provide heating of the cargo compartment, hot bleed air is supplied via a trim air valve. The operation of the cargo trim air system is very similar to the trim air system for the air conditioning system. Each cargo compartment has a cargo heating controller which controls the trim air valve position to regulate the temperature of the compartment. Let's look at the ECAM conditioning page to see how information on the cargo conditioning system is presented to the pilots. The cargo heating system is an extension of the air conditioning system. Hot air is routed from the trim air system for the forward cargo hold and via an independent hot air valve for the aft cargo hold. On the ECAM conditioning page, the indications associated with the cargo compartments are the isolation valves, the trim air valves, duct inlet temperature, compartment temperature, aft cargo hot air valve. Notice that there are no indications for the extract fans. On the overhead panel, the cargo heat panel contains the controls associated with cargo heating and air conditioning. For each cargo compartment, there is an isolation valve push-button switch. These push-button switches normally remain in their lights-out auto position. When in this position, the cargo ventilation controller will automatically open and close the isolation valves. In case of cargo smoke detected, the cargo ventilation controller will automatically close the related isolation valves. The temperature selectors send demand signals to the associated cargo heat controllers. The cargo heat controllers then move the trim air valves to adjust the temperature of the air entering the compartment. The hot air push button switch controls the aft cargo compartment hot air valve via the aft cargo heating controller. This push button switch normally remains in the lights out auto position. Notice that the forward cargo compartment does not have an independent hot air valve. The forward cargo trim air system is fed from the cabin hot air valve. The forward inlet isolation valve and the forward outlet isolation valve enable the crew to isolate the forward cargo compartment if cargo smoke is detected. In this case, when the isolation valves close, the extract fan stops. The forward trim air valve receives air from the hot air manifold of the air conditioning system. The aft inlet isolation valve and the aft outlet isolation valve enable the crew to isolate the aft cargo compartment if cargo smoke is detected. In this case, when the isolation valves close, the extract fan stops. The aft trim air valve receives pressure-regulated air from a separate hot air pressure regulating valve which is connected on the APU bleed air duct. The aft heating system is independent of the cabin air conditioning system. The ventilation controller is located on the left side of the circuit breaker panel 103VU in the right-hand electrical bay. The cargo heating controllers are located in the forward avionics bay. The two cargo heating controllers and the cargo ventilation controller are connected to the CFDIU for test purposes and fault reporting, available on the MCDUs.